Why would she have to go for 96 years to learn the truth? I just told you the truth over the radio just a moment ago,
right.
5 minutes ago,
right.
or 2-3 minutes ago, whatever the case might be. So you don't have to go back and forth all day long and every Sunday to hear the truth. When an individual sits up into the pews of the church, that individual is trained not to think. You don't have to think. You see?
I hear you.
C.T. Chicken Wing and the minister, he has a prepared menu for you. And you don't ask no questions. And when you come to my lecture, you ask me questions. I will try and answer them for you. And try to give you some type of rationale.
Right.
As to the questions that you ask me. Okay? And it's all free. I'm giving it to you. I've been studying for 30 years or more. For one reason, to bring forth information to our African community. This is the time that we need this information. We're going to have to change as a people. We're going to have to change our thoughts. We can no longer run down to the church on Sunday and hymn and sing and hullabaloo and get all emotional. Okay? Emotionalism has to be out. It's on its way out. Okay?
Right.
You can't have emotionalism anymore in this. Okay? Right. We're going to have to be a people that's looking for truth and facts based on truth. Okay? Not emotion. Okay? See, I'm not gonna tell you something to make you feel good, and what I'm telling you is a lie.
That's right.
I'm not gonna do that to make you feel good. Okay? If what I'm telling you don't make you feel good, then let's talk about it. We can we can find some common ground to make you feel better.
All right, well, let's throw that out to the folks right here on Mystic 1580. Let's see if you want to talk with Dr. Walter Williams, a preview to what's going to take place I'll tell you what, Saturday, June 8th and Sunday, June 9th. Prepare yourself, South Florida, because Dr. Walter Williams is coming to town, and we want to make sure you get a chance to prepare yourself as well and to ask some questions that you may want to prepare for right here, right now. So here's your chance to speak out with Dr. Walter Williams. A little bit of a foretaste of what is to come on June 8th and June 9th. Mark your calendars. Let's make sure you get involved. 954-581-1580 is the number for you to call South Florida. 877-426-1580 outside of Broward, and star 1580 on your single wireless service.
Okay. Would you say then, Dr. Williams, that through the ages, the people who have immersed themselves into Christianity have done so because of emotional wanting to feel good? I know the great theologians who have looked into this discipline, would you say that they were doing it because they wanted to feel good?
No, they're doing it out of ignorance. They don't know any better. See, the religions are imposed on human beings at an early age. And that's during your childhood. As you come out of your mother's body, you grow. And as you grow, this religion is being imposed upon you. And you, as an innocent child, you can't, you don't know the difference. You don't know what your parents are doing to you. You can't say to your parents, Mama, Daddy, I don't want to be no Christian. So you grow up into this foolishness, you see. So therefore, as you grow up into this foolishness, you embrace it and you think it's real because all around you people are doing the same thing. You see, it's not real. It's an illusion. Okay? You, the human being, are the only realism in it, because what you have is your indwelling spirit that keeps religion, God, and the Bible together. That's the glue. You see? So now, if you took God and took God to the nearest garbage can and dumped God in, took this dead white man on the cross and took this dead white man into the garbage and dumped this dead white man on the cross, and you took this stupid Bible and foolish Bible and took it to the garbage can and put it into the garbage can, what would be standing, Miss Ivy, would be the human being with your indwelling spirit intact that was given to you at the time of your birth.
Well, I think some people are probably listening to this, Dr. Walter Williams, and saying this is sacrilege, this is blasphemy, this is outrageous for you to think of all these sacred items as being just useless. What exactly would you say to them if with that? How would you respond to them in that sense?
Okay, now, first place, one has to understand and study what's been and what has been put upon them. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I was said to them, no human on earth was born with a religion. Okay?
All right.
Human on earth was born. You were not born with a religion. Religion is man-made. It is unnatural. Something that is unnatural. Something that will give you side effects. You see? Because it's unnatural. Like when you go to the doctor if you're being sick, you go to the doctor and that doctor writes out a prescription to you. The drug that he's going to prescribe to you is something that's man-made by way of synthetic, and it's going to give you side effects. It's unnatural. Religion is the same way. No human on earth was born with a religion. I will give them that and tell them that. And the Bible is the companion to the religion, whether it's Christianity or Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, etc., etc.
Right.
See? So one has to really know what you were born with as a human being and what was imposed on you as a child, as a human being.
Why did man find it necessary to create a religion then? Why did they do that?
For political control. See, they use religion, Miss Ivy, to control the minds of the people all over the world. And you know who's behind it? I'm going to be honest with you. Jews are behind it.
Really?
Yes, because in the Christian religion, the Jews wrote the Old Testament for the Christians. That was written for the Christians. The Jews don't read no Old Testament. They have Sefer HaTorah and their Mishnah Talmud. That foolishness in the Old Testament was written for Christians, and in the minds of the Christians is the writings of the Jews via the Old Testament.
That's
and
interesting.
Let's go into Islam. You know who wrote and created the Quran? Jews. Because in the Quran, you have the Old Testament or the Pentateuch or the Psalms in the Quran. Also in the Quran, you have the four Gospels. You see? They are in control of the whole entire world. One world order.
Really?
Okay? Yes.
Now, this is kind of interesting. Some people might say, well, this smacks of a bit of racism. This smacks of, a bit of, let's just say it really is something that is troublesome because you're painting Jewish people as the boogeymen of the world, almost like Hitler or some of the other outrageous leaders have done in the past. Are you doing that, or are you pointing out what has historically happened?
I'm not doing that. I have nothing to do with no Jewish. There's no such thing as a Jewish people. That's number one.
All right.
You cannot take a religion and make a people out of it. That's number one. What I'm saying has nothing to do with no people and no Jews. Okay? I'm saying that hidden Jewish writers have created literature for the mass population of the people of the world via the Holy Bible, the Old Testament, via the Quran, which has the Old Testament in it. These Old Testament writings are and were created by Jewish writers. This is all I'm saying. That's a fact. It has nothing to do with me talking about it. Okay? Right. Now, if I can't say that without being looked down upon as being anti-Semitic, which is no such thing as being an anti-Semitic. No such thing as that. It's an illusion.
I was going to ask you, who is the anti-Semite? Yes, a person. When you're said to be anti-Semitic, what are people really accusing you of?
Okay, people. There's no such thing, like I said before, as an anti-Semitic, because there's no such thing as a Semitic. You got to be Semitic first to be against Semitism. Okay? And the word Semitic comes from Shem, from the Bible, which the Jews created the Old Testament. Okay, then you got to that takes you back to the family and table of nations in Genesis in the Bible. Oh, the three sons of Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And so from Shem comes Shemitic or Semite.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it takes you right back to the Bible. So you can't say that one is anti-Semitic based off of what? Based off of what? What am I anti-Semitic based off of what?
Based off a book that doesn't exist. Or
yeah.
All right.
You're gonna call me anti-Semitic based off of a Bible that was written by Jews?
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, South Florida, controversial, as some may say, definitely thought-provoking. Dr. Walter Williams is definitely here to answer any and all your questions. If you have any comments, and prepare yourself because he is coming in, perhaps the storm of season right here in South Florida. It's going to be Dr. Walter Williams on Saturday, June 8th, from 7 to 11 at Nature Works for You at 3341 North University Drive in Davie, and that's between Sheridan and Sterling, right behind the Amico station there. For further information, give these brothers a call at 954-322-5347. And on Sunday, June, again, the time, 11 p.m. sharp, it's going to be at the Art Serve, and that's at 1350 East Sunrise Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. For more information on that, 954-527-8757. We want to make sure you're prepared and ready to go, and definitely listen to Dr. Walter Williams because there's quite a bit of information. And you're bringing every to support all that you said, all the truth. You have slides, you have documentation that bring it out in Thomas's and everything. Is that correct, Dr.?
No, I don't have any. I have knowledge I'm going to bring. And anyone that wants to debate my knowledge can do so.
Well, how do you document your facts, though?
I'm bringing in facts.
All right. How do you document your
document through 30 years of research? Okay. Once I tell you, see, I don't tell you something that's wrong over here and don't have what's right to put in its place. See, if I tell you something is wrong over here, then I'll tell you what's right to be put in its place. You see, based off of facts. See, not what I think.
All right.
And you cannot use the phrase doubting Thomas because that is coming from the Bible.
Well,
you cannot use anything biblical.
Can I do what now?
No, I'm telling Jean, he said for all the doubting Thomases. But we know that the Thomas who doubt was a disciple that doubted the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And that is a biblical
biblical reference.
It's a biblical reference.
It's a word pun that I use. Don't worry about it, Dr. Walter Williams. She's getting a little upset because I'm using the Bible in vain.
Okay, we'll take the Bible and take it to the nearest man. But anyway, let me tell you this, and Miss Ivy. Our message today, Brother Imani, that the minister from the Nation of Islam won't be there.
That's not good. Hold on tight. We're going to have to make sure we get all this information out. The music is on. We're going to have to take a short pause. All right, Dr. Walter Williams?
Hey.
All right, South Florida. We're coming back with more from Dr. Walter Williams right here on Mystic 1580. Your time to speak out is next. Want to hear your questions? 954-581-1580 is the number for you to call in Broward. 877-426-1580. Outside of Broward at Star 1580 on your single wireless service. I'm Jean-Jean Bouin.
This is Mercedes. Stay tuned. Mystic 1580.
We'll be right back with Dr. Walter Williams right after these messages. The 60 again, where you get a chance to speak out right here on Mystic 1580. We want to hear your voice. This next segment of South Florida Speaks Out is brought to you by our very good friends at Florida Best Mortgage Corp. And you can get in touch with them at 954-966-9608 or 305-653 4822. If you want to consolidate your debt, reduce your current monthly payments, and save money, just call Florida Best Mortgage Corp at 954-966-9608 or 305-653-4822 and ask about all the other available financing programs as well. A special bulletin for renters. They're telling you to stop throwing your money away. They'll connect you with all types of special programs for first-time home buyers. So go on down to Florida's Best Mortgage Corp at 6151 Miramar Parkway at Suite 223 for professional courteous help on all your financing needs. Call them again in Broward at 954-966-9608 or in Miami-Dade at 305-653-4822. Remember, that's Florida's Best Mortgage Corp. They can definitely help you. Well, I'll tell you what, in the form of help, we're all excited about what's going to take place June 8th and June 9th.
That's right. Global Learning in conjunction with Ancestral Legacy proudly present 2 lectures, June 8th and 9th. The Origins of Civilization and Religions, Christianity and Islam. It's Dr. Walter Williams from Chicago coming down to give you the scoop. Be there. It's going to take place Saturday, June 8th at Nature Works For You. Nature Works For You is at 3341 North University Drive in Davie. The second venue will be at ArtServe, and that's 1350 East Sunrise Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. Be there.
All right, that's Saturday and Sunday. And, of course, the man himself who's going to be coming into town is here with us this morning, giving us a bit of a taste of what's coming. Guess what? Let's say a Mystic 1580. Welcome to you, Dr. Walter Williams. Welcome back, brother.
Thank you.
Dr. Walter Williams, some people are sitting back in their chair right now and thinking, wow, is this the coming of the end? Perhaps you are the Antichrist himself. You are the anti-Muhammad himself. Perhaps you are anti-religion. What is it exactly that propels you to discuss these issues and seek the truth that you are seeking?
Well, the first thing I want to tell the people that I'm not an atheist. So don't put me in your book and in your mind as being an atheist. Mm-hmm. I'm not an atheist, nor am I an agnostic. No, okay? I am a spiritual human being, just like you are. Okay, I was born with a spirituality that was given to me at the time of my birth. So, no, I'm not an atheist. I'm a spiritual human being. Mm-hmm. I know that there's a higher power than Walter Williams. I know that. The reason why I know that, because of my physical human appearance. So something had to create Walter Williams. Mm-hmm. So therefore I'm not a fool. So I recognize the higher power. I know that I have a spiritual power that's inside of me. I realize that. How did I come into the consciousness of that? By way of study. You have to study. You have to think. You have to use your analytical mind. About 30 years ago, I was seeking the knowledge from history. I was seeking and using the discipline of history to bring forth more knowledge to Walter Williams. And doing so, quite naturally, I was centered in ancient Egyptian studies, okay? And in doing and seeking that study, I ran across a book, and I'm going to bring this book with me to Florida when I come next weekend.
Okay.
Called The Historical Origin. I'm sorry. That's my book.
I was about to say, that sounded familiar.
I'm sorry about that. But the book I'm going to bring is called The Outline of History by H.G. Wells.
Oh.
And in this book, just by accident, I picked it up off of the shelf of a friend of mine. I was in his music studio while he was giving a saxophone lesson. I happened to go to his bookshelf and I picked this book up. I saw this book, The Outline of History, and I picked it up. And when I opened the book up, the first thing that stared in my face was a picture of a icon of a Jesus the Christ icon image. But it said, under the caption, it said, Serapis. Now, I began to read a little further about this Serapis. I said, this is strange. Now, this icon depiction of this Serapis image looks exactly like the icon depiction of this Jesus the Christ. You see? So I began to read, and as I began to read further about Serapis, it said this. It says that he raises the dead. Okay, now wait. I said, wait, hold it. Let me go back, because here they are saying the same thing about this Jesus the Christ, raising the dead. Why are they about this Serapis? Then, as I was reading a little further, it said that he is the Savior. He is spoken of as the Savior. I said, wow, this is the same attributes that they have given to this Jesus the Christ in traditional religious Christian theology. Then it went on to say that even after death, you will always be in the presence of Serapis. Now, this is the same thing that these ministers preach over the dead bodies at funerals about the deceased, that this deceased has gone on to be with Jesus, you see. So I began to study from that point, and I was upset for over 2 years as I was doing this research. So I followed Serapis all through history, and I found out that there's never been a man that ever walked the earth in human form of any race, creed, or color by the name of Jesus Christ. And I began to write this book, the book that's out in the world today. It's been out there for 9 years. My book, The Historical Origin of Christianity, whereby I'm saying on the front cover there's never been a man that ever walked the earth in human form of any race, creed, or color by the name of Jesus Christ. Okay? And then I so convinced of that I have a $5,000 award to give to anybody of any race, creed, or color, including the Pope, that can repudiate me when I'm saying that there's never been a man that ever walked the earth in human form by the name of Jesus Christ. Now, these ministers, the two ministers that supposed to debate me, they have a chance if they can prove by way of using the discipline of history, not by your emotions, not by what you believe, not by your faith, not by some little stupid Bible, none of that. You have to use the discipline of history to prove that a man walked this earth in human form, no matter what race, creed, or color, by the name of Jesus Christ, and you can get the $5,000, but you have to write it up.
Right.
Repudiating manuscript, because in my book, The Historical Origin of Christianity, I'm not making not one biblical reference in there to prove that Jesus Christ never walked the earth. I'm not using no biblical reference.
That's right. Now, you've issued this challenge before, and you've actually been issuing this challenge for quite some time now.
9 years.
9 years, and have you ever been challenged? Has anyone ever taken this challenge up?
No. Do you know why?
Why?
Because all religions have to be believed in. You see, you can't take a belief against a fact.
So you have to suspend truth in order to believe.
Right. You have to be very docile and passive in order for you to believe in these various religions. See, they tell you you have to have faith. Now, if you look up faith in the dictionary, it says faith, unquestionable belief. Tell me that as a human being. I'm not going to let you and allow you to tell me anything that you want to tell me, and I don't investigate, and I'm just going to sit up there and believe. Then I'm stupid.
Right.
This book, though, that you say is stupid, the book itself, it gives a lot of information that has been backed up since it was written by archaeologists, paleontologists, scientists, it's about the circle of, long before people knew that it was round. People used to think that the earth was flat. That book's about the circle of the earth. There is knowledge in it that coincides or is allied to the knowledge that we're getting from science.
The book you're talking about?
The Bible.
The Bible is worthless, Miss Ivy. Because the Bible has no spiritual value. You take your spirituality, if you take little Bible and took it to can, get it out of your life, what would be standing there would be spirituality. Now, when you go to get this garbage can, from the pages, believing it, then you give it dead. And then these theologians, there's a man by the name of John Kinsey who wrote a book called The Dictionary of the Bible. He is a Jesuit of the Roman Catholic Church. Okay?
Right.
You right there in the dictionary of his Bible that he wrote, the Bible is worthless. It tells you that.
Well, I'll tell you
Well,
what.
it
Dr.
depends
Walter Williams,
really on the perception and the eyes, that look at it.
We don't have time to discuss. That's why we've got faith in June 9th, Dr. Williams. But guess what? I just want to tell you, here I am looking at the American Dictionary of, and I forget which edition this is, but I had to make sure that if one looked up the word believe, you would see that it says to accept as true.
Right.
That's to accept it or to credit veracity, have confidence in it, or try, or to suppose. And then it talks about faith, religious faith. If you look up belief, it's a mental act, a condition, or a habit of placing trust or confidence in a person or and a faith. So we're going to have to find out what's going on. Just a foretaste of what's happening, Dr. Williams. You're right on target, brother. Let's go ahead and let's take one quick call before we have to take a short pause. All right?
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and let's say a Mystic 15, Brother Marshall.
Hey, how you doing, people?
Not Brother Marshall. We call from Pembroke Pines today?
Sir.
Right, Brother Marshall. Now, what do you think of Dr. Walter Williams, huh?
Okay, first of all, I want to say hi, Queen Ivy. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very great.
Well, brother, but we don't really have time for the pleasantries. Let's get to the question.
Okay, brother.
All right.
I just want to make a comment. I've said that the Bible has a lot of things in it that holds up to science. It's a part of the Bible. I know that it says that Earth, that the sun revolves around the Earth, and we know that's not true. And I just want to make a comment on that. That's one thing that that was said, but that's not true. So,
all right.
Well, scientists revolve around, and the Bible says Joshua commanded sons. We'll say no more.
Okay.
But to say that it is utterly and completely worthless, I wouldn't. The Bible is the most beautiful work of literature.
Right.
It's like the heavens declare God, and the firmament showeth his hand.
Right.
Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. Where can you find literature like that?
Well, is it things in it, Sister Ivy, that you feel that is not correct, though?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Here we're going to get into separate. We don't need to get into. Brother Marshall, I definitely appreciate you speaking out today, brother.
Oh.
Because what you're bringing out is, if Dr. Walter Williams, don't you think Brother Marshall brings up an important point?
Very important. Very important. And maybe when I come to South Florida, he'll walk up to me and introduce himself to me.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, this is going to be important. South Florida gets in town until Saturday, June 8th, and that's going to be at Nature Works for you. 7 o'clock is the time, 3341. North University in the heart of Davie, between Sheridan and right behind the Amical station. For more information, call 954-322-5347 or 954-322-5349. And of course, June 9th at 7 p.m. again, you will be at Art at 850 East Sunrise Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. For more information on that, 954-527-8757. Dr. Walter Williams, it is going to be a pleasure to see you and speak to you, brother. Hold on tight because we've got some more ground to cover. But first, let's go ahead and let's take a listen to what's going on with our body office. Of Edward Jones here in the Bruce office. Jones is our good and listen to you today, saying what's happening to all those who are listening to WSRF.com on the internet. We're streaming live 24/7 right here at Mystic. We want to make sure you get involved as well. This is your chance to speak out just as well as those who are here in South Florida. So we want to make sure everybody knows this is your show, your opportunity to speak out. So let's make sure we take full advantage of it. Before we go on, as we look at the clock, it's that magical hour. It's a lunchtime for most of us as we return back to work, getting back into our routines. And you know what routine we have to resume as well? We want to make sure we resume the routine of making sure we check out the Restaurant Row. That's right there, the Restaurant Row on Mystic 1580. Check out Mystic 1580's Restaurant Row and make sure you take full advantage of that and support those who support your community. South Florida, it's all better for you. And of course, want to remind you again that this hour of South Florida Speaks Out is brought to you in part by ProQuest Mortgage and Lending. Give ProQuest Mortgage and Lending a call at 561-364-7899 or 954-441-9727. Or you can log on to PMLmortgage.com. That's PMLmortgage.com. Don't worry about the distance. ProQuest will come to you. That's ProQuest Mortgage and Lending, one of our sponsors for this particular hour of South Florida Speaks Out. With that said, South Florida, you have to mark your calendars. Your dates are here. Of course, Dr. Walter Williams is coming to town. Author of great books such as Your Historical Origins of Christianity and, of course, the Historical Origins of Islam as well, soon to be released. He's coming to town, and he's going to be at Nature Works for You on Saturday, June 8th, and that starts at 7 p.m. prompt. And that Nature Works for You is at 3341 North University Drive in Davie, between Sheridan and Sterling. And he's also going to be at the Art Serve on June 9th, a Sunday, also to start at 7 p.m., and that's at 1350 East Sunrise Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. All those and then some. Let's make sure you get involved right here with Dr. Walter Williams. Let's say a Mystic 1580. Welcome to you again, Dr. Walter Williams, as you give us the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right, Dr. Walter Williams, I'll tell you what, we are happy to have you here, and I think some people want to jump in and speak out with you. So let's go ahead and let's take a quick call. Let's say a Mystic 1580. Welcome to you. Sister Elvira out of Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
How you doing, sister?
I'm fine.
Good.
It was good to hear the doctor. I really enjoyed that because I'm pretty much like him when it comes to all this. I feel like religion is just a way of manipulation.
Correct.
And I also feel like he does, like, I feel that God is within you. You understand? And to me, George Bush proved that with the faith-based initiative. If everybody just looked around them when that word, those three words, faith-based initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted the doctor to know how I felt about what he's saying, and I think this will be very, very interesting, and I'd like to be there.
Thanks.
All right.
And when you come, introduce yourself to me.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Sister Elvira. Thanks a lot for speaking out. Well, I'll tell you what, Doc. All right, Doc, I'll tell you what, Sister Elvira brings up a very good point. She brings up whole notion of faith-based initiatives. And then when you think about it, just this whole separation of church and state, or the supposed separation of church and state, there doesn't seem to be one, especially when you have "In God We Trust" on the dollar bill. Why is that there?
Because it's not a separation of church and state. The church and the state is one and the same, because they tell you, oh, this is a Christian country. This country has never been a Christian country. This country has never practiced democracy. Okay, so that's an illusion. That's a farce.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all. That's part of the game of manipulating your mind control.
Mm. Well, there seems to be a lot of that going on these days. And as we look at the world today, we're looking at all the trouble spots throughout the world. And you look, of course, at Palestine. You look at Israel. You look at India and Pakistan going at it. The world seems to be full of religious conflict.
Religion cannot be blamed. What's going on in the world today? Really, what is going on into the world today has from man's injustice to man. Man's fallen condition.
Can I forward that question to Dr. Williams?
That is because of religion. It's the state of man, condition of man's heart.
Dr. Walter Williams.
Yes.
When he says this in the name of who?
Religion.
There you go. When the army storms into Bethlehem, when the Israeli storms into Bethlehem, they're doing it in the name of who?
Religion.
And you are saying that there's a dichotomy, a clear dichotomy between religion and spiritual. You're telling me that religion wants the spiritual people are doing it. It was religious people that crucified. Spiritual people, the people who know better, the people who have brotherly love and practice brotherly love, are not killing, massacring each other.
Let me explain to you, Miss Ivy. Time of antiquity, no religion, no place on earth, none whatsoever. Okay, so the world don't need a religion. The people who are living in the world today don't need a religion. You need to know who you, in order for you to know how to conduct your life, okay?
Right.
Not be fooled by these foolish man indoctrinated whole religions. These religions is causing for a year to be murdered, massacred, and okay, over 300,000 a year, all on the country. Look what's happening over into the Palestinian conflict, the Israelis, etc., etc. It was the Jews who wrote a book and created a book called the Old Testament. And in that testament, the Jews wrote that the land over there in Palestine was supposed to be a home that was given to them by way of coming from, etc., etc. That's all biblical. Who wrote that story in there? They did.
Right.
Okay, just out of the clear sky, junk in there.
I'll tell you what, bro.
They're trying to on people, like they have forced these religions and their writings on people all over the world to control their minds. Wake up.
Wake up call indeed. So let's find out how you feel about this one. Dr. Walter Williams is here giving you nothing but the truth right here on Mystic 1580. Let's go ahead and let's say a Mystic 1580 welcome to you. Sister Agon Shay. Sister Agon Shay, you there?
Yes, beloved. Both of you playing it today. Also started a discussion here with my friend.
Right.
I am we were going back into our original in ours talking about the African tradition, astral worship, the American or any peoples of most lands have this type of tradition. And my point is that these were not religions. These are not religions. These are traditions.
There you go.
And that it is a teaching of our own spirituality.
All right. Would you agree with that, Dr. Walter Williams?
Agree with that wholeheartedly. She's telling the truth. Because during the time of antiquity, we're talking about ancient times. People all over the world, we're going to deal with the ancient Egyptians.
I'm going to hang up.
Thank you, Sister Agon Shay.
Thank you.
All right. Walter Williams, continue.
Yeah, see, we had to start with the ancient Egyptians, the first and oldest civilized people on planet Earth. The ancient Egyptians never had a religion. They had a spiritual way of life. That spiritual way of life was in tune with cosmic order. Do with no dead white cross. Had nothing to do with no stupid Bible. Had nothing to do with that. Okay, they knew and used the cosmic laws of how they were able to build that great and grand and glorious civilization that was built in Egypt, in Africa.
Right.
During the time of antiquity, not bowing down to a dead white man on the cross, talking about this is my Savior, not turning to no Bible verses, talking about, oh, this is so beautiful. Quite naturally, it's supposed to be beautiful, to suck you in. You're supposed to, they're supposed to make you feel good. You see? But our ancestors, the ancient Egyptians and other African ancestors, they never had no Bible. They didn't need all that junk. Okay? We need to get this out of our lives. We don't need this.
All right.
You have to know who you are spiritually and what spiritual power that you have that was given to you at the time of your birth and how it's connected to the universe and how to use it.
All right, brother. With that said, South Florida, here's your chance to speak out with Dr. Walter Williams right here on Mystic 1580. Just a taste of what you're going to get Saturday, June 8th and Sunday, June 9th when he comes into town live. Let's say a Mystic 1580. Welcome to you, Haiba, out of Pembroke Pines. How are you, Haiba?
Very good.
All right. Go right ahead. You have Dr. Walter Williams on.
Yes. The first question I have for Dr. Williams, and it's a pleasure to hear you. I was just informed about, in fact, even about the program. But I'd like to know, I understand that, are you familiar with Dr. Yosef Ben Yachanan?
Yes.
Okay. So, and he talks about the world's ancient religions.
Okay.
Okay. And now, is he speaking to you, in your opinion, is he speaking of these in terms of tradition, or is he speaking in terms of the fact the first communication with the universe?
Well, you can't go and say who had the first communication with the universe. The only thing you can do is go back and say who was the world's first and oldest civilized people.
Right, and we know that.
And we know that the ancient Egyptians were and still are, you know. Dr. Ben mixes a lot of tradition in his writings and teaching. I've been on several programs with Dr. Ben. In fact, the last one, the last time I saw Dr. Ben was back, in January, I believe, of this year, when in New York they gave a testimonial to Dr. Ivan Van Sertima.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I was there, and I was at the dinner in a man by the name of Clemson Brown's house. He has a mansion there in Brooklyn, and Dr. Ben was there. Dr. John Henry Clark's widow was there. Mrs. Clark.
That sounds like a real feast.
Yes, Sybil Clark, she was this. And Dr. Ben. And so, anyway, me and Dr. Ben, we go back just a short way, but, you know, we have differences, and there's things that I agree with him on, there's things I don't agree with him on.
Right.
See, I'm a guy like this. I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not.
Right.
Okay? And I'm not telling you the truth to try to hurt someone. I'm trying to tell you the truth to help someone.
Right.
You see, so yes, Dr. Ben mixes tradition with a little fact.
Right, and I go back a number of years, as a matter of fact, with Dr. Ben. One other question. I understand, I lived in Tanzania in East Africa, which where you know is where the first man and the first woman actually walked the earth.
No, don't believe that.
You agree with that?
No, don't believe that.
Okay, so you're saying they first came from Egypt instead of coming from Tanzania?
No, first place you got to be very skeptical about the supposed bones that the Daleki found.
Okay.
Okay, that's number one.
All right.
Number two, how do you know that those bones, you know, apes and monkeys and things resemble the physical form of human beings? How do you know that the bones that they said that they have found, you know, we don't know. They said they are saying this. Found belong to a human being.
Right.
That's number two. Number three, how do we know if a human being was attached to those bones that were found in Tanzania? How do we know that that human being did not come from another area of the world into the continent of Africa and drop dead? We don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
But in terms of the migration of the population, wouldn't you say that it would have been a logical course? For instance, that the Asians went down to, the original Asians went down to South Africa and over to Madagascar?
Well, now, who you calling as the South Asians, the original South Asians?
Well,
oh, some definitions, huh?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying
we're
that
going into deep directly here.
Well, let her go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, in terms of the dispersal of the people,
What people are you talking about?
I'm talking about African people, original African people.
Based on what? Where is this disbursement based on? Who is saying that? Where are you getting this from?
Oh, okay. You want to know the exact source?
Oh, there you go. Everybody has a theory, sister.
Yes.
Yeah, and I understand that, but this is the first that I'm hearing that there was disagreement with the fact that, and why would there be disagreement if they did originate there? What is the problem with them having originated in Tanzania? And is it just a problem just because a European discovered those bones?
Well, see, you have to question and be very skeptical about what Europeans are telling you. Now, like I've been telling people, in fact, in my book, The Historical Origin of Christianity, I got to the point where I had to put in the book, in the appendix, why the metanatural hieroglyphics have never been deciphered, because the country lecturer would bring up hieroglyphics to me and say, hey, brother, sister, the hieroglyphics have never been deciphered. But the Europeans have taught the other African scholars that the hieroglyphics has been deciphered, and so they bring that back into our community. Okay. So I'm the one that has to stop all of that, so I had to put in my book why the metanaughglyphics has never been deciphered. Now, just this month, you get a book called Biblical Archaeology Review. It's out for the May-June issue.
Okay.
And get that book, and you turn in the pages until you see a picture of the Rosetta Stone.
All right.
Now, these European scholars are saying that this Rosetta Stone is a fake. Okay? And